Fire is a part of life. Humans have long been fascinated with the beauty and power of flames, but some take it too far. Every hour of every day, at least one deliberate fire is lit in Australia. Fire setting is associated with significant property loss, emotional trauma, and even loss of life. If we understand why people commit dangerous and antisocial acts, we will be better equipped to find the perpetrators, apply interventions, and prevent future acts. The motives for deliberate fire setting are wide-ranging and complex. Often there are multiple motives present. The following screencast is an exploration of why people set fires. Early German writers theorized that mentally disordered teenage girls with menstrual difficulties were primarily responsible for fire setting. Modern theories have evolved from this point and are now very different with a large evidence base. A traditional framework used to explain fire setting is the psychodynamic perspective. Fire setting was thought to be motivated by repressed, denied, and projected aggression towards the parent of the opposite sex. Although this interpretation received little empirical support, the displaced aggression hypothesis often cited today stemmed from psychoanalytic theory. It is a common experience that when one person makes you angry, you take it out on someone else. Displaced aggression may be very common among fire setters, as research highlights the typical childhood of a fire setter is turbulent, unstable, and often violent. Juveniles may be unable to directly express their aggression at adults for fear of punishment, choosing fire as an indirect but powerful weapon. Furthermore, fire setters of all ages have been found to be lacking in the skills needed to directly express anger in relationships. Some theorists assert that fire setting is a behavior learned like any other, through reinforcement, punishment, and observation. The development of fire-setting behaviors can include various reinforcers such as attention or excitement. In terms of working with fire-setters, this suggests that altering the consequences of fire-setting may decrease the chances that the behavior will occur again. Fire-setting can be considered an impulse control disorder, sharing similar biological pathways to disorders like kleptomania, pathological gambling, and compulsive shopping. Activity in the pleasure pathways of the brain is thought to be behind these conditions. Pharmaceutical treatment of chronic severe fire setting has been successful in single case studies. Another way of examining the motivation behind fire setting is to look at the differences in motivation between groups of fire setters. Juveniles often set fires out of either aggression or simple curiosity. If this second motive is identified, then future damage can be prevented by basic fire safety education. Some adult fire setters have rational motives such as financial gain or covering up a crime. Others are influenced by poor mental health. An interesting finding is that while males are responsible for the bulk of known fire setting, females may be motivated by different concerns. They are more likely to experience psychosis and depression than be harboring antisocial motives. Examining the differences between groups of fire setters may aid in identification, treatment, and prevention of fire setting. Knowledge of fire setting motivation is of huge practical significance to individuals and the community. Understanding why people light fires can help identify fire setters before damage occurs. This is particularly relevant to children, as they are often in a position where warning signs and risk factors can be identified by supervising adults. Once a fire setter has been identified, knowledge of motivation can inform treatment decisions. For instance, a child motivated by displaced aggression may benefit from interpersonal skills training. An impulsive fire setter may benefit from impulse control treatments. Identifying the motives can also help pinpoint those at risk of recidivism. For example, fire setters motivated by excitement are more likely to reoffend than those motivated by revenge. Understanding the motivations behind fire setting is an immense and difficult task. However, continuing research indicates that there is hope for the fire setter and for their communities.